Hello again and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse and I am back for another iOS accessible game video. This is a VoiceOver accessible game and we are looking at accessible Sudoku, and I believe it's like 99 cents on the App Store, so you just one-time purchase, buy it, download it, play it. It's got a whole bunch of puzzles in it. This is a numbers puzzle game. And Sudoku has been, has been a pretty common thing now for many years, at least in North America. I think it started in Japan or something. I don't know for sure, but I had never even heard of Sudoku until probably like the mid 2000s or so. I started hearing about it, kind of cropping up, and it was just becoming a lot more popular. People were playing it sort of like they do crossword puzzles or other types, like word finds and different types of things like that. And for those unfamiliar, Sudoku is a grid-based numbers puzzle game where you have, let's say, you have all kinds of different complexities of puzzles, but let's take the simplest one that we're going to find. You have like a 4x4 grid, and you are given a few numbers to start with, to kind of clue you into like, okay, these are the numbers we're going to give you. Now figure out all the rest of the blanks on the board. The catch is that you can only have one of each number on every row or column. So the first row you would have 1, 2, 3, 4 in whatever order, and then the first column 1, 2, 3, 4. But you have to work like all around the grid to puzzle out like where do I put these numbers in so that they don't overlap? Like they can only be in one place on the board. It'll make more sense as we kind of go through it. But yeah, it's kind of on a grid, sort of like how when we covered the accessible Minesweeper game on the channel quite a while ago. But let's jump into it here.
Sudoku. Double.
Sudoku.
Sudoku. 4. At
And
1.
this is a very, very, I love the simple, clean look of this game. I believe this is Woodside Apps, if I remember correctly. And I really like their clean visual style of things, of the way things look. Now, in the upper right, in the upper right-hand corner, there is a little zoom button. So in the upper left,
Puzzle. Score 32. Button.
okay, so we got puzzle, we got a score 32. So I beat one puzzle and then I stop because then I figure, well, I don't want to get too much more complicated. We'll record a video.
X1. Button.
X1, this is regular size. And every time you click it, it'll zoom in another level. And I kind of wish there was either just a combo box, like a little thing it pops open, you could choose your magnification, or like a zoom in, zoom out button, because there's a lot of different zoom levels, but as you zoom in, I mean, it gets so ridiculously large if you get big enough to where you can play this visually if you want to. And if you even have really, really bad vision, I mean, you can zoom in so far that you can't even really fit a whole number on a screen. And I have a big phone. So, I was like, how do I get it back to being small? Because it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, either having like a little pop-up item chooser, or like a zoom in, zoom out button, or like a immediately 1x button, that'd be kind of nice. So let's look at our grid.
0 lines and 0 blocks done. Button. 0 lines and 0 blocks done. 4. At 1. 1. Button.
So again, you've got 1, 1 through 4, 4 in this particular case. So in 1, 1, we have a 4.
Missing. At 2. 1. Button.
Missing 2, 1.
Missing. At 3. 1. Button.
Okay.
Missing. At 4. 1. Button.
And I'm just flicking to the right.
3. At 1. 2. Button.
Okay, 1, 2, I've got a 3.
1. At 2. 2. Button. 4. At 3. 2. Button. Missing. At 4. 2. Button.
Now I'm not going to go through every row, because what I find, again, this is definitely a title where if you're flicking through this for just flicking left and right, it is not going to make any sense to you unless you have an ungodly ability to like remember, okay, every little row and every little column, and especially once you get on the larger grids, I think it would be almost impossible. you're really going to need to explore by touch here because you want to figure out, okay, what numbers are vertical, what numbers are horizontal, which places are open, etc., etc. All right, so, and I'm kind of going to be using my vision a little bit just to speed things up a little bit, so we're not here forever. But so what I'll do is I know that there are 3 out of 4 numbers filled in column 1. So we have
4 at 1, 1
4 at
button.
1, 1.
3 at 1, 2 button.
Okay. 3.
Missing 1 missing at 1, 3 button.
Missing is at, okay, 1, 3.
2 at 1, 4 button.
2. Okay. So we know the only thing that could possibly fit there
2
in
at
that
1
1,
missing
3,
at 1, 3 button.
we don't have a number 1 there. There's no 1 in that column. So I'm going to double tap
Missing
that empty
at 1,
grid.
3 missing at 1.
And
Try
then I
2
just
button.
choose.
Try 2 but try 0. Try 1 button.
And they're huge letters, or they're huge numbers. So I could totally play this visually without even using VoiceOver if I wanted to, because the contrast is fantastic. The text is like, the numbers are just clear. There's no weird fonts or anything. But it all also works very well with VoiceOver.
Try 1
So I'm going to say 1.
Try 1.
Okay.
Missing at 4.
So
2
now we've
button.
got our first column figured out. Now, because I've done that, let's take a look
Guess
at
1
row 3.
at 1, 3
We've
button.
got a row, we've got 1.
Guess 1 at 1, 3
I guessed
button.
1, and that seems pretty solid to me.
Guess 1 at 1, 3 but missing at 2, 3 button. 2 at 3, 3 button. 3 at 4, 3 button.
Okay, so what is missing? A 4. We're missing a
Missing
4 in
at 2,
number
3 button.
2, 3, so let's double
Missing
tap.
at 2. Try 4 button.
Let's try
Try
4.
4.
Okay.
4 at 1,
So
1.
now I've got 2 rows figured out. And now I got to figure out, what do we do next? And, you know, I'm just looking at this visually. We don't have any other ones. Oh, yes, we do. We have one more row that has 3 numbers in it now. And so let's look
3
at
1, 2 button.
1, 2.
3 at 1, 2
3.
button. 1 at 2, 2 button. 4 at 3, 2 button. Missing at 4, 2 button.
Okay. So what's missing in that row? We're missing a 2.
Missing at 4.
Let's
Try
put a
1
2 in
try
there.
2 button. Try 2. Missing at 2, 4
So you see how we're totally skipping around this board. You really have to, because especially like right now, it's not too bad, because when there's only 4 numbers per row or column, you know, there's not that many numbers. You know, you can always find one that seemingly that is like, oh, there's 3 numbers here, we're just missing 1. But as the boards get bigger, that's where I start getting absolutely terrible at this game. So now we have column 4.
Guess missing at 4, 1 button.
4, 1.
Guess 2 at 4, 2 button.
Okay, we have 2 there.
3 at 4, 3, 4 at 4.
Okay,
4
we've got
button.
a 1, so we need a
Guess
1 up in
missing
the upper right
at
hand
4,
corner.
missing at 4.
4,
Try
1. We're going to put a 1
button.
in there.
Try 1. Guess 2 at 4, 2 button.
Okay. Now we have 2 rows left, and they both have 2 numbers in them. So we have to kind of figure out a little something, and we got to do a little bit of reasoning here. So let's see. We've got on the top row
4 at 1, 1 button. Missing at 2, 1 button.
At 2, 1.
Missing at 3, 1 button. Guess 1 at 4, 1 button.
Okay, so, and then we on the row 4.
2 at 1, 4 button.
1, 4.
2 at 1, 4 button. Missing at 2, 4 but missing at 3, 4, 4 at 4, 4 button.
All right, so it's been simple up to this point. Now we got to do a little bit of figuring. So I'm going to take column 2, we have a 1,
1 at 2, 2, but guess 4
and a
at 2,
4.
3 button.
So we have to combine. Now we have to start combining our knowledge with our rows and columns because we don't just have a freebie anymore. Well, in row 4, we already have a
2 at
2.
1, 4 button.
So because we're missing a 2 and a 3 in column 2, we've got a 1 and a
1
4.
guess 4 at 2, 3 button.
So that means we need, like I said, we need a 2 and a 3. Well, we can't have a 2 on the bottom because we already
2
have a
at
2
1, 4 button.
in 1,
2
4.
at 1, 4 button.
That means obviously this one has to
Missing
be a
at 2,
3.
4 button.
So let's make that a 3.
Missing at 2, try 3 button. Try 3. 4
And we'll hope
at
that our
4,
reasoning is
4
right.
button.
Well, now we only have one number left. And we have
2
2,
at guess 3
3,
at 2 missing at 3,
4,
4 button. 4 at missing
and
at
we're
3,
missing a
4
1.
button.
So let's
Missing
put a 1
at 3,
there.
try 1 button. Try 1.
Okay, so
Guess 2
all
at
of
4,
that
2.
row is unique. There's no repeating numbers. Now we just have our 2 left on our row 1. And we now have the 2 middle columns. They have 3 numbers in them, and if we've deducted this correctly, we should be able to just plug the numbers in, and there should be no overlap. So we've got in column 2.
Missing at 2, 1 at 2, 2. Guess 4 at 2, 3. Guess 3 at 2, 4
Okay,
button.
so we need a 2.
1 missing at 2, 1
Let's
missing
put a 2 in
at
there.
2, try 2 button. Try 2. Guess 3
And
at
in
2
column
missing
3,
at 3 missing at 3, 1 but 4 at 2 at 3. Guess 1 at 3, 4
okay,
button.
4, 2, 1. Well, we need a 3.
4 missing at 3 missing at try 3 button. Try 3 alert. Well done.
Boom.
Well done. You completed the puzzle and earned 32 points. Okay button.
Okay.
Missing at 1.
All right,
1
we got one more puzzle. I'll do one more puzzle and then we'll wrap it up. I mean, again, this is a game, it's very straightforward in what you have to do. But it's the actual act of exploring the puzzle. And like I said, I will say, playing this with VoiceOver, if I was not able to kind of cheat and eyeball these large print numbers, it would be a little bit more time consuming. It would be a little bit harder. But you absolutely need Explore by Touch because you really need to figure out the relationship of what's above and below, what's to the left and right. And you are not going to be able to get that through flicking. So we do have, again, I'm going to kind of cheat and use my vision just so we speed up the video. Column 4 already has 3 numbers filled in. So we've got
missing at 4, 1 button. 1 at 4, 2 but 3 at 4, 3 but 4 at 4, 4 button.
1, 3, and 4. Well, gee, we're missing a 2.
Missing at 4 missing
Let's put a
at
2
4
in there.
try 2 button. Try 2.
Okay.
Missing at 2,
Well,
4
now
button. 1 at 3 missing at
we have all of column 4 filled out. But now, because of that, we have row 1 figured out.
missing at 1, 1 button. 4 at 2, 1, 3 at 3, 1. Guess 2 at 4, 1 button.
So we're missing 1 there.
Missing at 1 missing at 1. Try 1
Let's
button.
put a 1
Try
there.
1
Okay.
at 4, 2 button.
Ooh. This one's a little more tricky-dicky because now we only have 2 numbers in each of the remaining 3 rows. So it gave us 2 freebies. We've got a 1 row and 1 column figured out. Now we got to do some deductioning here. Okay. So in column 1,
Guess 1 at 1, 1 button. Missing at 1, 2 button. 4 at 1, 3 button. Missing 1, 4 button.
okay, we're missing a 2 and a 3. Column 2,
4 at 2, 1 but 2 at 2, 2 button. Missing at 2, 3 missing at 2, 4, button.
Okay, we're missing a 1 and a 3 there. Column 3.
3, at 3, 1, button, missing. At 3, 2, button, missing. At 3, 3, button. 1, at 3, 4, button.
Okay, so we're missing a 2 and a 4. Okay. So again, rather than I'm gonna kind of eyeball this. Like what I would normally do then is I would just keep
1,
kind of
missing. At
exploring
2,
with my
4,
finger
but
here.
missing. At 2, 2, at 2, 2, 4, at 2, 1, missing. At 1, 2, guess 1. At 1, 1, 4, at 1, 3, missing. At 2.
Okay, so if I figure this out, I think if I
Missing. At 2, 4, button.
okay, I need a 1 and a 3. I think I need a 3 here.
Missing. At 2, try 3, button. Try 3. 4,
Okay, we put
at
a
4,
3
4,
there,
button.
and then we need a 2 because that's the one thing that's missing
Missing. At 1, 4,
at 1,
button.
4. And that would check out because there are no 2's in that
Missing. At
column.
1, 4, at 1, 3, missing. At 1, 2, guess 1. At
We
1,
got a
1,
1 there,
missing.
so let's
At
put a
1,
2
4, but
here.
missing. At 1, try 2, button, try 2. Guess
Okay,
3.
so we've
At
got that
2, 4, button.
bottom row figured out, supposedly. Now we've got 3 filled out in row 1 or column 1. Let's circle up here. So we've got
Guess 2.
2.
At 1, 4, but 4. At 1, 3, missing. At 1, 2,
Okay, we need a
button.
3 there. And just by looking, going across, there are no other 3's in that row, so we should be
Missing.
safe.
At
Let's
1,
put a
try 3,
3
button.
there.
Try 3. 4. At 4, 4, button.
Okay, so the second column now, we have
4. At 2, 1, button.
4,
2. At 2, 2,
2.
button. Missing. At 2, 3, guess 3. At 2, 4,
Okay, we
button.
need a 1, and we do not have any 1's in that
Missing.
column,
At 2, 3,
and we do
button.
not have any 1's in this row either, so we're safe.
Missing. At 2, try 1,
Let's put a
button.
1
Try
in
1.
there.
1. At 4, 2, button.
Okay, so now we have the third column left. We've got a
3. At 3, 1,
3
button.
at 3, 1.
Missing. At 3, 2, but missing. At 3, 3, button. 1. At 3, 4, button.
So, and we have the rows that are empty right now. We have 3 numbers in each row. So if we've done this correctly, this should work. So on
Guess
row
3.
2,
At 1, guess 3. At 1, 2, button. 2. At 2, 2, button.
so you got 3, 2,
Missing. At 3,
blank,
2, 1. At
1.
4, 2, missing.
Okay, well, we
At
need a
3,
4
2,
there.
missing. At 3, try 4, button. Try 4.
Good,
1.
because
At
there's no
3,
4 in
4,
that
button.
column.
4. At 1, 3,
1,
button.
3. Okay, we got 4,
4. Guess 1. At 2, 3,
1.
button. Missing. At 3, 3,
And
button.
you hear how it says guess. So it tells you which ones are, if it just says the number, those are filled in, pre-filled in for you. If it says guess, that is what you put in there, and you can change it if you need to. You just double tap that square again. So we got
4.
4,
Guess 1.
1,
Missing. At
blank,
3. At 4, 3,
3.
button.
Well, we need a 2, and lo and behold,
Missing. At
there
3,
is no
3,
2 in
button.
that column.
Missing. At try 2,
I think we
button.
solved it.
Try 2. Alert. Well done.
Boom.
You completed the puzzle and earned. Okay. You completed the puzzle and earned 32 points. Okay. Button.
Okay.
Missing. At 1,
And now
1,
we start
button.
another puzzle. So I'm not really going to do any more on this video, but like I said, you can kind of see how this works. It's very simple in theory, but like I said, depending on what numbers and where they are, what they give you in each particular puzzle, it can be a little tricky. Like these 4x4, these are pretty manageable for me. But once I go past that, you can do, well, let's see here. if I go in the upper left-hand corner,
Puzzle, score 96, button.
let's double
Puzzle,
tap
score
that
90,
here.
restart current, button. Start new game, button. How to play, button. Clear score, button. Contact us, button. Our iOS apps, button. At John Sturt / Woodside Apps 2022,
Yep,
button.
Woodside Apps.
How to play,
Well,
button.
let's just go into here because I sort of explained it to you, but I'll show you what they tell.
How to play. A
Let me.
block
I'll
vary. A
just have
number
you
must
read.
only
I'll
occur
I'll
once
read
per.
it to you here.
A number must only occur once per row or column. It must also only occur once per block. A block varies in size according to the board size. A 4x4 board contains 4 blocks each of 2x2 cells. The size is recommended to learn the game on. A 9x9 board contains 9 blocks each of 3x3 cells. Standard size. A 16x16 board contains 16 blocks each of 4x4 cells. Difficult. A 25x25 board contains 25 blocks each of 5x5 cells.
Oh
Hard.
God.
All game options can be accessed via the puzzle button located at the top left. How to play. Tap a missing cell to then select a guess. Tapping a fixed cell will scroll the view to that cell. Scrolling occurs when the zoom level is above 1. Cycle the zoom level using the button at the top right of the screen. The state of the game is shown at the bottom of the screen. Any and all suggestions very welcome. At 2022 John Sturt / Woodside Apps.
Okay, there you go. So just think about that as a 25 by 25 grid. My head hurts just thinking about that. And I kind of would have to review what he said here. So, like I said, this is pretty manageable right now. It from what we're looking at in this type of puzzle, 4x4. But I guess you're supposed to look at like a 2x2 to help you solve when you get to these bigger puzzles. Let me read that again.
All game options can be accessed via the puzzle button located.
Oh, we
Page 1
gotta
of 2.
scroll up
A
here.
number must only occur once per row or column. A block varies in size according to the board size.
Yeah, okay.
A 4x4 board contains 4 blocks each of 2x2 cells.
Okay, that sort of makes sense, sure.
The size is recommended to learn the game on.
Mm-hmm.
A 9x9 board contains 9 blocks each of 3x3 cells. A 16x16 board contains 16 blocks each of 4x4 cells.
Mm.
A 25x25 board contains 25 blocks each of 5x5 cells.
So I guess that's how they recommend you break things down is when the board is big enough, like I said, I'm looking like the
Back
4x4
button.
is big enough
Back.
or it's small enough for me to kind of figure things out largely. But beyond that, yeah, so that must be a tactic. But I think if I were to play more of these puzzles, play more of these 4x4s, and as they get bigger and bigger, as I get through more of these, trying to figure out these small puzzles, maybe I will become better enough where as they go to like a 9x9 or something, maybe I'll be able to make more sense of it. But that is accessible Sudoku. It is, like I said, I think $1 on iOS, so totally worth it. Very, very low vision friendly, great high contrast colors, very clear numbers. I love the dark theme. You've got dark red for the board. You've got black tiles with white text. And then you got the blue part, since we're not filling in this all together. There's some empty space that's just a nice dark color. I like that it's just very low vision friendly. But it is also very clean, very VoiceOver friendly. No issues really whatsoever there. Just gives you the information you need. And there you go. Definitely want to use Explore by Touch for figuring out the grid. But you know what? This might be another cool game to play while listening to an audiobook for me because, like I said, the numbers are large enough where I can play this visually, and then if I want to play this audibly, I also can. So, accessible Sudoku. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you did. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, twitch.tv/illegally-cited, illegally-cited.com, and right here on YouTube. So until next time, I will chat with everyone again later.